An after story doesn't really have a before. I was raised in a Christian home by missionary parents, so I don't really remember a time where I didn't hear about Christianity or Jesus and wouldn't consider myself a Christian. Because my parents are missionaries, I grew up in Hungary, and it was in Hungary that I went through what would be closest to a before without God. I was definitely living a double life for a while. On one hand, I was playing music in front of the church. I was going mission trips. I was going to Christian high school. On the other hand, I was going out drinking and in the clubs in Budapest. I think I was just trying to fill a hole in my life with these things because I didn't have a lot of friends my first 2 years of high school. And so when I got invited to start going out and doing these things, I jumped at the opportunity. I kept this up for a few years. It all culminated in me getting suspended from the basketball team for the biggest game of the season. Surprisingly enough, it stopped when I came to college. Probably because I didn't really know anybody here except my roommate who got me involved with the Christian campus ministry crew. I was still just kind of putting on a face though, trying to make my Christian missionary parents happy by saying that I played in a worship band for a Christian campus group. Of course, I believe that God is behind everything in our lives, and I believe He has a plan for my life, and I think that He decided to get me back on this track since I wasn't really on it. He gave me a little nudge that turns out could have and should have killed me. I fell 30 feet onto my head off a rope swing that me and my cousins built in Minnesota. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. I'm 100% confident that the only reason I'm alive today is because God saved my life. I have looked at the scientific facts of the story dozens of times, and the fact is that 90% of people who have this injury I had die, and 10% of people that live are severely impaired for life. I'm pretty sure I'm neither, which means it's a 100% chance of miracle in my mind. Since this injury, I've actually been putting in a good effort for the first time in my life to pray and read my Bible and stuff that I know that good Christians do, but never really had the urge to do before. Since I'm doing these things, I care a lot less about myself. I'm not nearly as prideful. I can take genuine interest in other people instead of just waiting for my turn to talk. I know that God saved my life for a reason, and I don't intend to waste it, as corny as that sounds. If I were to sum up my life before and after this event with one word apiece, I would say that before it was incredibly self-serving. I did whatever it took to make me happy, which included playing the good Christian role a lot of times. And even though it was just an act sometimes. In a weird way, knowing that someone else is in control is actually super freeing. And that's why my afterword I would use would be liberation, because I don't have to worry about what people think of me. I don't have to be constantly trying to keep myself happy. Instead, I'm filled with peace that I know comes directly from God. It's pretty great, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone.